got what they asked for twice. I used to wait tables at an upscale restaurant that was known to be the place to have your holiday or office parties. Great money if you got the right group. The menus were preset, the wine and liquor were preset, and it was all auto-graded at 18%. All of it was in the contract the host signed pre-event. Usually, the host would make themselves known fairly early on so you would know who to talk to if there was an issue and who to give the check to at the end of the night. One night, I am splitting a party of 30 to 40 with another server. This event had top-tier food and mid-level wine and booze. Very nice. A small group of 5 to 6 people arrive a bit ahead of schedule. 2 guys and 3 to 4 women. Not a problem, it's actually nicer if they slowly roll in so we can get drinks started. I walk over, introduce myself and the other waiter and ask for drinks. Now this was back in the early 2000s and chads weren't a thing yet, but the 2 guys were the chaddiest chads. If they could have popped their collars in their suits, I'm sure these guys would have found a way. Super Shad 1, me and my bro are going to start with a round of Johnny Walker Blue, and these ladies are going to have expensive red wine, Super Shad 2. Turning to the girls. Once you have Johnny Blue, you just can't drink anything else. It changes you, bro. Me, if you like, I can put those on a separate tab. The event contract has Johnny Walker Black, but not Blue, and the red wine selection for tonight is less expensive wine. Super Shad 1, this is our party, just get me what I ordered and don't question me again. Super Shad 2, who do you think you are? You're just some waiter, we have MBAs. Just get us our drinks. I walk over to the other waiter and tell him we are in for a hell of a night, but the check should be nice. For those that don't know, Johnny Walker Blue is 3 to 4 times the cost of Johnny Black. So, one round of drinks for these people is over $100. The whole night goes exactly as we thought. Nothing was good enough, the appetizers were crap, the food was horrible, not enough bread, too many bread plates, drinks were taking too long. Why do some people have food and others don't? It's 40 people man, it takes a minute to get that much food out. To make it worse, Chads and Co are all over the place, moving seats and making others move so they can talk to who they want. This makes serving hell because we did everything by seat number. Surprisingly, most of the table was normal, not entitled people and who knew that waiters are people too. They were impressed by the food, and graciously ordered the drinks that were in the contract. One older gentleman at the other end of the table from the Chads apologized for their behavior, saying they might have fancy degrees and good jobs, but you can't teach class. Love that guy. Finally, they are winding down and after drinking almost a full bottle of Johnny Blue along with all the other food and drinks they have a very hefty check and the other waiter and I are excited to get paid. We start picking up the dessert plates and asking for last drink requests. The nice older guy at the end of the table says to bring him the check. Not wanting any more interaction with the Chads than necessary, I bring it to him. I tell him I can take care of it whenever and go about clearing the table. A few minutes later he calls me over. Nice guy, maybe there was a mistake in ringing up the drinks. There is almost $600 for Johnny Blue, when the contract I signed only included Johnny Black. And there are some single glasses of wine that are different from what we agreed upon. Me, no mistakes sir, that is what was ordered and drank. He is being awesome, and I feel bad. Nice guy, why did you give the drinks to them when we clearly had a contract? Me, I apologize sir, they told me that this was their party and since I was just a waiter to shut up and do as I was told. So I did. I'm sorry, I took them at their word. I point them out and he calls them over. What follows was the singularly greatest ass chewing I have ever been witness to. He goes on about how he was doing something nice but apparently that wasn't enough. About how horrible their behavior was that night and how he is ashamed for them. But my favorite line was how you see a person's true colors in how they treat people that work for them and they had shown theirs. Then he calls me back over. Nice guy, apparently I thought this was my party. Guess I was wrong. This is their party and they will be taking care of the check. Oh, and up the gratuity to 25%. You earned it. He turns around and walks off, leaving the Chads with the check. All in all, it was about 3K. I have never seen two grown men look so defeated. The boss might have been their father. It makes total sense looking back. Now to the comments. There's a certain beauty in seeing arrogance defeated by those who actually have the power. OP replied, I really hope they got demoted or fired. I would be willing to bet they never got a promotion. I'm glad the older guy took it in stride and didn't blame it on you. I hope you were able to throw your own party on the gratuity, even after splitting. OP replied, that was my single largest tip night of my life. In the 300s after tip out. Tip out is? The restaurant getting a portion of your tip. Karma can be a real witch sometimes. I really like the way Mr. Nice Guy handled it. OP replied, I would imagine he paid them back for the rest of the company the next week and just made them cover their share. But what a lesson. It depends on what exactly their job is and how much they are paid for it. The loss of trust by the boss might have been worse than the financial loss. Even though pricey, this might be considered as some kind of apology by the Chads. I had to host an event similar to this for my company, but thankfully the restaurant had something in the contract stating that if anyone asks for top shelf liquor, it would have to be approved by me first or else they would deny them. Luckily my guests were all responsible and no one ordered top shelf because they were gratuitous enough that we were paying for an open bar and appetizers. At the end of the night, we still had $4,000 left in the $10,000 preset menu for food and drinks, so we left the rest as an additional gratuity for all the amazing servers we had. OP replied, that is ducking. Awesome. Don't know why they look so defeated. $3,000 should be no problem at all for a couple of big shots with MBAs. OP replied, I hope it hurt them. We have what we call the $50,000 millionaires. Guys who get a decent job but blow it all trying to look like big shots. Yeah, I've known dudes like that. They're probably going into debt to keep up their lifestyle. Once you have Johnny Blue, you just can't drink anything else. It changes you, bro. This is the chaddiest thing to say. I've had blue. $50 at a bar for a glass. Black is just fine. OP replied, most of the conversations were paraphrased, but this one is word for word. Blue is tasty but not for the price. For that price, I'm drinking something completely different. That was a well-poured shot of MC on the rocks. OP replied, what kills me is that is how they were drinking it. On the rocks. Way too cold and way too watery for good scotch. It changes you, bro. Jesus. 25% on $3,000? Nice shit. Ha. Good to see the Chads get wrecked. OP replied, it's so satisfying. In before they got in trouble at work for it if that guy was also their boss. Now the only question is, which one of them stiffed the other on reimbursement? Nice old man just destroyed the souls of those two people. OP replied, and without yelling and theatrics. Really powerful people don't have to yell, they just tell their assistant to take care of it and the offender's career spontaneously fails. They don't try to speed in a car. If they're in a hurry, they take a heli. Also, everyone else waits for them. They don't speed because they might miss their flight, their private jet won't take off without them. But they've got MBAs. They can afford it.